weight of the world presses upon your shoulders, and every step feels heavy with sorrow. Pause for a moment. Breathe gently. Feel the rhythm of life as it moves through you. You may believe that you are broken, unlucky, or abandoned by fate. Yet, this is only an illusion of the storm. Darkness may surround you now, but no darkness is eternal. The sun still waits to rise. Like a lotus rooted in the mud, beauty and strength are born in the very place of difficulty. Your suffering is not proof that life is against you. It is proof that life is calling you back to patience, to understanding, to the hidden light inside you. Trust this. You are not alone, and you are not defeated. There are days when everything collapses at once. Work fails, relationships shatter, and the future seems like an endless corridor of locked doors. In such moments, you might whisper to yourself, "Why me? Why does the world conspire against me?" But listen carefully. The world is not your enemy. The universe does not gather against you. What you experience is the natural dance of causes and conditions. Doors close not to punish you, but to redirect you toward other paths. A seed cannot sprout on stone. It must rest in soil, in darkness, and even in rain before it grows toward light. When you feel cornered, remember this: life is not rejecting you. Life is teaching you resilience. Just as the ocean waves crash but never stay, your hardships arrive and depart. The entire world is not against you. Your own mind has turned against itself. When you soften the mind, the world softens too. Pause and breathe. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper, "I am still here. I am still breathing. I am safe in this moment." This small act is not weakness. It is courage. For true courage is not to fight the whole world. It is to stay kind to yourself when you think the whole world has abandoned you. Close your eyes and imagine this truth. Every person you admire, every hero you know, every enlightened being, once walked through valleys of despair. They too had nights where tears became their pillow, but they chose not to surrender to despair. They chose to breathe, to stand again, and to trust that tomorrow was worth waiting for. So, when you believe the world is against you, remember, the world is not plotting your downfall. The world is simply changing shape around you, asking you to bend, to adapt, and to see a new horizon. The storm outside may roar, but within you, there is stillness waiting to be discovered. Let these words be your reminder. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are in transition. And transitions, though painful, are the doorway to transformation. In moments of despair, the mind runs wild, chasing fears, regrets, and endless stories of loss. It tells you that you are not enough, that you will never heal, that your future is already ruined. But the mind is like a restless child, and you, dear friend, are the parent who can hold it gently. How? Through the simplest miracle, your breath. Your breath is not just air moving in and out of the body. It is the bridge between chaos and calm, between despair and hope. Each inhale carries life. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you. The breath is always here, waiting like a faithful companion, even when everything else is falling apart. Close your eyes now. Inhale slowly. Feel the cool air entering your lungs, filling every corner of your being. Hold it softly, and then release it like letting go of a heavy burden you've carried for too long. Do this again and again. Notice how, with every cycle, the storm within you grows quieter. The Buddha once taught that mindfulness of breathing is the foundation of peace. You do not need to climb mountains or escape to a monastery to find it. Peace is not far away. It lives in the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. When the mind screams that you are lost, anchor yourself to the breath. You will discover that you are not lost at all. You are simply returning home. Imagine yourself as a tree in a great storm. The winds whip your branches, tearing at your leaves, yet deep within the earth, your roots are steady. The breath is those roots. With each inhale, you draw strength from the earth. With each exhale, you sink deeper into stillness. The storm may rage above, but you remain grounded below. Even in your darkest hour, breathing with awareness is an act of courage. It says, I choose to live. I choose to be present. I choose not to abandon myself. No storm can take that away from you. So, when fear rises like a tide and you feel you are drowning in negativity, pause and breathe. Inhale the truth that you are alive. Exhale the illusion that you are powerless. Let the breath remind you that no matter how broken you feel, there is a quiet strength within you that cannot be destroyed. The world may not change in that instant, but your heart will. And when the heart changes, the world begins to follow. There is a voice inside your head that never seems to rest. It criticizes, compares, and condemns. It says, you are not worthy, not beautiful, not capable. It repeats the mistakes of yesterday and paints the future with colors of fear. This voice is loud, and because it is constant, you may mistake it for the truth. But remember this, the voice in your head is not you. Thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. They form, they change shape, and then they vanish. The sky itself, the vast awareness behind the thoughts, remains untouched. You are not the storm of your thoughts. You are the wide sky that holds them. When the inner critic shouts, pause and listen carefully. Ask yourself, is this voice kind? Does it speak with wisdom? Or is it simply the echo of old wounds and fears? Most often, it is not the truth, but a memory of pain trying to protect you by keeping you small. The mind thinks that if it criticizes you first, others cannot hurt you. But this is like burning your own home so that no one else can enter. You do not need to believe every thought. You have the power to question them, to hold them up to the light. When the thought says, I am worthless, you can answer, this is not the truth. This is only pain speaking. When the thought says, I will never succeed, you can breathe and reply, I am still learning. Every step forward is success. Imagine your thoughts as guests arriving at your home. Some are kind, some are rude, some are frightened children, and some are tired travelers. You cannot control who knocks at the door, but you can choose which ones you welcome to stay. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. So the next time the voice in your head tells you that you are failing, that you are unloved, that you are broken, remember, it is only a voice. It is not the truth. You are more than your thoughts. You are the awareness, the compassion, the light that observes them. Every time you catch a negative thought and smile at it instead of obeying it, you grow stronger. Every time you say, I see you, but I will not follow you, you reclaim your freedom. In this way, the voice in your head becomes less a tyrant and more a passing echo. Your true voice is softer, gentler, and infinitely wiser. It whispers encouragement, forgiveness, and hope. To hear it, you must quiet the noise of fear and turn toward kindness. This is the voice of your heart, the voice of your true nature. Trust it. There is one truth that every storm, every tear, every broken dream quietly reveals. Nothing lasts forever. This truth is called impermanence. At first, it may sound frightening because we long for certainty and permanence. We want the love we have to stay forever, the success we earn to never fade, the happiness we feel to always remain. But life does not move this way. Life is a river, not a stone. Impermanence is not your enemy. It is your liberator. Imagine if sorrow were permanent, if failure were eternal, if loneliness never changed, how heavy life would be. But because of impermanence, no wound is final, no storm is endless, no night is without a morning. What feels unbearable today will soften, transform, and eventually pass. Think of the seasons. Winter does not apologize when it covers the trees with snow. Spring does not cling to its blossoms, nor does summer hold on to its long golden days. Autumn does not grieve when leaves fall. Each season arrives and departs in harmony, and because of that, life continues. Your pain, too, is just a season. It has entered your life, but it will not stay forever. When you understand impermanence, you do not cling so tightly to your suffering. You do not carve it into your identity. You see it for what it is, a passing guest. The Buddha taught that to see impermanence clearly is to touch freedom. For when you realize that all things change, you stop holding on to what hurts, and you stop fearing the unknown future. Take a photograph of yourself from years ago. Look at your face, your eyes, your smile. Notice how much has changed. In the same way, the pain you feel today will also change. Nothing remains the same. Even your darkest emotions are waves on the ocean of life, rising, cresting, and falling back into stillness. So when negativity whispers, "This will never end," smile gently and answer, "Everything changes. This too shall pass." Each breath you take is proof of impermanence. No inhale lasts forever. No exhale is permanent. Life itself is a dance of constant beginnings and endings. Impermanence is not a curse. It is the reason healing is possible. It is the reason broken hearts can love again, the reason failures can turn into wisdom, the reason endings can give birth to new beginnings. Instead of fearing impermanence, bow to it. Welcome it as the great teacher it is. When you truly embrace impermanence, you live with more tenderness. You cherish moments because you know they are fleeting. You forgive more easily because you know grudges decay with time. You appreciate the people you love because you know one day, like blossoms, they will fall. Impermanence teaches you not to waste your life clinging to what is already changing. Let impermanence guide you. Let it remind you that even if today feels unbearable, tomorrow may open like a lotus in the sun. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is forever. And that is the very reason hope is always possible. We live much of our lives carrying invisible weights. Expectations placed upon us by others, regrets from the past that cannot be changed, worries about a future that has not yet arrived. We drag these burdens across the days, wondering why we feel so tired, so heavy, so defeated. Yet rarely do we pause to ask, why am I still carrying this? Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean carelessness or laziness or abandoning responsibility. Letting go means setting down what was never yours to carry in the first place. You cannot carry the expectations of every person in your life. You cannot carry the mistakes of the past forever. You cannot carry tomorrow's storms in your arms today. Letting go is the art of placing down the unnecessary weight so that your hands are free to embrace the present moment. Imagine yourself walking along a mountain path with a backpack so full of stones that you can hardly move. Every stone is a memory you refuse to forgive, a failure you replay endlessly, a fear of what may come. The longer you walk, the heavier it becomes. Then one day, you realize the backpack has no lock. You can open it. You can remove a stone. One by one, you lighten the load, and as you do, you begin to walk with ease again. The practice of letting go begins small. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you cannot control. Fold the paper, breathe deeply, and imagine placing it in a river. Watch it drift away. This is not pretending the problems do not exist. It is acknowledging they are not yours to hold. They belong to the flow of life. When you let go, you create space. Space for healing, space for joy, space for possibility. Clinging to pain does not protect you. It only prevents you from holding peace. By setting down old burdens, you open your arms to new blessings. Do not be afraid to let go. What is truly yours, love, wisdom, compassion, will never leave you. What falls away was never meant to stay. Trust life enough to release. Trust yourself enough to breathe. Letting go is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of freedom. Each time you place a burden down, you discover you were never weak. You were always strong enough to choose peace over pain. And in that choice, you return to yourself. When life feels heavy with negativity, it is easy to believe that you are cursed, that bad luck follows you like a shadow. But karma is not a punishment from the universe, nor is it a sentence handed down by fate. Karma simply means action. It is the law of cause and effect, the natural truth that what you do, think, and say plant seeds that eventually ripen into fruit. Every moment is a seed. Some seeds grow into suffering, others into joy. If today you find yourself surrounded by pain, it is not because you are doomed. It is because old seeds have ripened. But the beauty of karma is this: you are always free to plant new seeds. You do not need to be chained to yesterday's harvest. The field of tomorrow is still open, waiting for what you sow today. Look at your daily habits. Each one is a seed. A harsh word is a seed. A kind smile is a seed. A moment of mindfulness is a seed. A decision to care for your body is a seed. These seeds may seem small, but like drops of water filling a jar, they eventually shape the life you live. If you have carried anger, you have planted seeds of anger. If you have practiced compassion, you have planted seeds of peace. And just as a farmer cannot expect mangoes after planting thorns, we cannot expect joy if we continually plant negativity. But the miracle is that the soil of your life is always ready for new seeds. No matter how many weeds have grown, the ground is never ruined. Responsibility is not blame. It is empowerment. To take responsibility means to recognize, yes, my actions matter. Yes, I have the power to choose differently. Yes, I can plant something better. This is not self-punishment. It is self-liberation. Begin with 3 seeds. The seed of mindfulness. Pause 3 times a day and breathe 3 conscious breaths. The seed of gratitude. Each night, write down 3 small things that made you smile. The seed of kindness. Do 1 good deed without expecting anyone to notice. Do this for 21 days, and you will see the garden of your mind changing. Slowly, negativity will wither like weeds without water, and hope will sprout like tender shoots reaching toward the sun. You are not trapped by your past. You are not cursed by fate. You are a gardener of the present, and your choices are seeds of the future. Plant wisely and trust that in time, the fruits of peace and joy will ripen. Few pains cut as deeply as the loss of love. When a relationship ends, whether through betrayal, distance, or the quiet fading of affection, it feels as if the heart itself has been torn open. The nights are long, the mornings are heavy, and every memory seems to sting. You may believe you will never love again, that something inside you has been permanently broken. But remember this truth: love itself is never destroyed. The form of love may change. The person who shared it with you may walk away, but the capacity to love remains within you. It is like a flame passed from one candle to another. The flame may no longer burn in one place, but it has not gone out. It continues to live inside you, waiting to shine again. The Buddha taught that clinging is the root of suffering. Often, what causes us the greatest pain and heartbreak is not the loss itself, but the refusal to accept that the season has changed. We try to hold spring blossoms in our hands even as summer arrives. We resist the natural flow of life. Yet, if we can let go, we discover that love is not bound to one form, one person, one story. Love is vast, limitless, and always renewing itself. Allow yourself to grieve, but do not confuse grief with the end of your capacity to love. Sit with your sorrow as you would sit with a friend. Say to your heart, "I know you are hurting. I am here with you. Cry when you need to cry. Rest when you need to rest." Healing does not come by force. It comes by gentle presence. Try this practice. Place an empty chair in front of you. Imagine the person who hurt you or who left sitting there. Speak the words you never had the chance to say. Let your voice tremble. Let the tears fall if they must. But end with this sentence: "I release you. I choose peace." Then, write a letter to yourself 1 year in the future. Tell yourself what you hope you will have learned from this heartbreak. Imagine yourself stronger, wiser, more open to love than before. Seal the letter and keep it. A year later, read it, and you will see how far you have come. Most importantly, remember to turn your love inward. Each night, before sleep, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I deserve love." I begin with myself. Slowly, gently, the wound will close, and in its place will grow a deeper compassion, not only for yourself, but for everyone who has ever suffered the loss of love. Love is never wasted. Every relationship, no matter how brief or painful, teaches you something about who you are and what your heart is capable of. The end of one love is not the end of love itself. It is an invitation to love again, with more wisdom, more kindness, more freedom. Work is often where we place our worth. We measure our value by promotions, salaries, achievements, and recognition. When a project collapses, when a career stalls, when our efforts seem invisible, it feels as though our very existence has been declared a failure. But hear this truth: failure in work is not failure in life. A job is something you do, not who you are. You may stumble in your career, but your humanity, your kindness, your courage, these cannot be measured by performance reviews or bank accounts. When work does not go as planned, it does not mean you are broken. It means life is redirecting you to learn, to grow, to discover new paths. Think of a tree in a forest. One season, its branches may not bear fruit. Does the tree declare itself worthless? Number. It continues to stand, to drink sunlight, to root itself deeply in the earth. Another season comes, and the blossoms return. In the same way, your failures at work are seasons, not sentences. They are chapters, not the whole story. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, What is this teaching me? Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every skill you admire in others was forged in the fire of mistakes. Every person you look up to has stumbled, has fallen, has doubted themselves. What made them succeed was not perfection, but persistence. Here's a practice for moments of professional disappointment. Take a sheet of paper and draw 3 columns. In the first, write down what you did well. In the second, write what you could improve. In the third, write the name of one person who might help you grow in this area. Reach out humbly, ask for guidance, take one small step. In 30 days, you will see progress you thought impossible. Do not measure your worth only by worldly standards. True value is not in how much money you earn, but in how much compassion you give. Not in the titles you hold, but in the integrity with which you live. Work is important, yes, but it is not the measure of your soul. So when you face setbacks, remind yourself, I am not my failures. I am a learner. I am still walking my path. Every step, even the ones that stumble, is still movement forward. Failure does not close doors forever. Sometimes, it opens doors you would never have dared to seek. Trust that each failure is not an ending, but a turning. And on the road ahead, there is still space for your gifts, your purpose, your light. Money, recognition, and status often seem to rule the world. From childhood, we are taught to measure ourselves against others, how much we earn, what title we hold, what possessions we display. And so, without noticing, we begin to chain our worth to things outside ourselves. We tell ourselves, if I have more, then I am enough. If I am admired, then I am worthy. But wealth and fame are like knives. They can be useful tools, or they can wound deeply. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy inner peace. Status can attract attention, but it cannot guarantee love. Comparison is a fire that never goes out, because no matter how much you have, there will always be someone with more. If you tie your happiness to comparison, you will always feel lacking. The Buddha taught the wisdom of enough. To know contentment is to be rich. A person with little who knows gratitude is wealthier than a millionaire who is never satisfied. True abundance is not in what you hold, but in how you see. Pause for a moment and reflect. 5 years ago, what were the things you dreamed of having? Today, many of those dreams are already in your hands, but the mind, restless and ungrateful, quickly forgets. It races forward, demanding more. This is the trap of comparison. It blinds you to the blessings already present. Practice gratitude to break free. Each day, write down 10 things you already have that bring you peace. A safe place to sleep, a meal to nourish you, a friend who listens, the breath that fills your lungs. These are treasures greater than gold. Also, practice mindful consumption. Before buying something, wait 72 hours. Ask yourself, do I truly need this? Or am I feeding an emptiness that gratitude could fill? Many of our desires are not needs. They are cries for recognition, for love, for meaning. And these cannot be purchased in stores. When you stop comparing, you begin to see clearly. The purpose of wealth is not to compete, but to support a life of kindness and wisdom. The purpose of recognition is not to inflate the ego, but to encourage good deeds. The purpose of status is not to divide people, but to remind us of our shared humanity. Do not measure your worth by bank balances or titles. Measure it by how tenderly you love, how deeply you forgive, how gently you walk upon the earth. These are the true currencies of the spirit. And remember, when you leave this world, You take nothing but the quality of your heart. Let that heart be rich in compassion, not in comparison. When everything seems broken, work, love, confidence, even your sense of self, it is easy to believe the story that your life is finished. The mind whispers, "It will never get better. You will never rise again." But this is not the truth. The truth is that the future is not closed. It is still waiting, like a horizon hidden behind clouds, ready to reveal itself when the storm clears. No matter how dark today feels, tomorrow has not yet been written. The page is still blank, and the pen is still in your hands. Your past may have chapters of sorrow, but the story is not over. As long as you breathe, there are words yet to be spoken, songs yet to be sung, paths yet to be walked. Remember the lotus. It does not bloom in perfect conditions. It grows in mud, in water thick with decay, in darkness where no one expects beauty. And yet, from that mud, the lotus rises clean, radiant, untouched by the dirt that surrounds it. You too are a lotus. What feels like failure, like misery, like endless misfortune, is only the mud preparing you for bloom. Do not mistake delay for denial. Life does not deny you happiness, it ripens you. Just as fruit must take time to sweeten, you too must grow through seasons of struggle. These seasons do not define your worth, they prepare your wisdom. The future is not something to fear, it is something to co-create with every breath you take. When you choose kindness over anger, you are shaping your future. When you forgive instead of holding resentment, you are shaping your future. When you breathe and return to the present, you are planting seeds for a future filled with peace. Imagine standing at the shore of a vast ocean. Behind you are waves of regret and storms of pain. But before you stretches an infinite horizon. You may not see clearly where it leads, but you can trust the direction. Forward. Step by step, wave by wave, you are moving toward a dawn you cannot yet imagine. One day, you will look back and see that the struggles you thought would break you were the very soil that allowed you to grow strong. You will smile and say, "The darkness was my teacher, the pain was my path, the storm was my beginning." So do not despair. The future is still waiting for you. And it is not empty, it is full of possibilities. It is full of moments yet to be lived, full of love yet to be discovered, full of peace yet to be found. Walk forward with trust. Walk forward with compassion. Walk forward with hope. And as you do, carry this blessing in your heart. May you be free from suffering. May you be rooted in peace. May your future be bright with the light of compassion